first step in cleaning your fill valve is to shut off the water supply to your toilet. Once completed, you may flush your toilet to drain the tank water in your toilet. Now you may remove the refill tube from the fill valve. Next, remove the white cover from the fill valve by placing your thumb under the tap and snapping off the cover. Once the cover is off, remove the float by gently pinching the float arms together. Next, locate the rubber pilot seat on the underside of the float arm. Ensure the pilot seat is flush with the surface of the arm. It is normal to see a dimple in the center of the pilot seat. With your free hand, hold the body of the fill valve in place to prevent the valve from unlocking. Remove the cap assembly by grasping the cap firmly and turn counterclockwise 1/8 turn. Run the cap under warm water and rub the red diaphragm gently to remove any buildup from use. Verify the diaphragm moves freely around the center black peg. If the rubber diaphragm is worn or punctured, cleaning will not suffice. A replacement cap assembly, part number R528, will be required. Next, remove the supply tube from the valve. Once the supply tube is removed, pull the white strainer out of the supply tube. Rinse the strainer under warm water to remove any sediment. Now that you have serviced the fill valve, it is time to reassemble the valve. First, place the strainer back into the supply tube, then insert the supply tube back into the valve body. Next, you will twist the cap assembly. Once completed, reattach the float arms to the valve body. Pinch the float arms inward to clip them back into place. Tap the back side of the float to make sure the float moves freely and is not scraping on the sidewalls of the float chamber. Next, reattach the white cover onto the valve and connect the refill tube. Ensure refill tube is clipped to the lip of the overflow tube. Never insert the refill tube down into the overflow tube. Doing so may create a siphon and cause the valve to run continuously. Once the refill tube is attached, confirm the valve is locked into place with a clockwise turn, and the water line on the fill valve is set to the same height as the water level line stamped on the tank. If the toilet's manufacturer's water level line is not visible, set the water line on the fill valve 1/2 inch below the top of the overflow tube. Once this is completed, turn on your water supply. You should start to hear the water running through your fill valve and into your toilet tank.